right, welcome everybody to Saturday Morning Slow Flow. We're starting on our back today. People in the studio are already there. If you're watching at home, come to your back. And take these first few moments just to get your focus to your breath. You don't have to control your breath here just yet. Just start to notice it, start to observe it. Start to breathe in through your nose and out through your nose. When you're ready, right? Try to do that controlled breath. You pull the breath all the way down to your belly as you inhale, and you push it all the way out as you exhale. Let it come naturally to your body, that controlled breath, right? If it doesn't come naturally, don't force it. Just go back, keep that awareness on the breath. Try to control it. If it doesn't work, you go back, just keep the awareness, right? Eventually you'll get to a place where you are controlling your breath. But that might not happen today or this week, and that's all right. I always tell you, all you have to do in this class or any yoga class is be aware of your breath. That's how your body's gonna find a rhythm. We're going to do some different movement patterns today when we start to move. I'm telling you that now because as we get into these different ways of moving, right? I don't want you to get caught up in, I'm not flexible enough, I can't do this, right? It doesn't require flexibility. You don't have to have perfect flexibility to do anything we're going to do today, right? You just have to let your body be open to new ways of moving. Mostly it's all about making sure that we can still get ourselves up and down. All right, so when you're ready to start moving, just lay on your back. Take your knees, hug them into your chest. Come here. I might go off the camera, maybe. Hug your knees into your chest. And we're just gonna start with basic supine flow. So you let your arms go out to a T. Drop your knees over to the right as your chin and gaze go to the left. If you wanna start activating your core, you can hover those knees off the mat, and you can let them drop down if you're not ready for that. Then as you inhale, you're going to bring your knees back to center. And as you exhale, drop your knees over to the left. Take your chin and your gaze to the right. So just do that a couple more times. You inhale, pull those knees in. Exhale, drop them right. Inhale, pull them in. Exhale, drop them left. Do one more time. Bring them up. Drop them to the right. Bring them up again. And then drop them to the left. Right, now from here, we're gonna bring our knees back up to center. Now, as we come back up here, right, you're hugging your knees into your chest. I'm gonna angle a little bit differently here so I don't kick the light. We're gonna do our TBEs. That means total body extension. So you're laying on the mat, right? Lift your head and shoulders. Push your forehead toward your knees. You can't see me doing that here. Right, so I'm lifting up with my head and shoulders, pushing my nose towards my knees. And then as you exhale, you're gonna release your legs. Let your legs go out long. Take your arms overhead, right? Maybe you hover your heels off the mat, hover the back of your hands. You can make it more relaxed, more of a stretch by letting your head and your heels come down. It's up to you, all right? But we're gonna do that a couple more times. You inhale, hug the knees in. Exhale, open up. Inhale, hug them in. Exhale, open up. Let's do it one more time where we hug in and open up. At this time, as you hug your knees in, right, take your hands to the crease of your knees and just rock yourself up to seated and then come around into tabletop, into that cat. We're gonna do some cat-cows, right? So first set yourself up in tabletop, shoulders over the wrists, hips over the knees. As you inhale, lift your chin up to the sky, tuck your tailbone under, let your belly drop, that's cow. As you exhale, tuck your chin to your chest, round out your back, hollow out your armpits, that's cat. So just keep moving here. Inhale, cow. Exhale, cat. Inhale, cow. Exhale, cat. So you can be going faster or slower than me. You can be going faster or slower than anybody else here. We just got to find that rhythm. We're moving with one breath, one movement. Eventually we're gonna meet back in neutral tabletop. Here you're gonna tuck your toes under, lift your hips up and back, come into your first down dog of the morning. Your fingers are spread wide like starfish, that pointer fingers at the front of the mat, let your head drop between your shoulder blades, push your belly towards your upper thighs. You can add some movement here if you want to. Bend one knee, then the other, walking the dog. Maybe sway your hips from side to side. Just check in with your body. Notice what's going on. What's feeling good, what's not feeling good. Where do you need to push forward? Where can you hold back? Or should you hold back, right? Listen to your body as we go through the rest of our practice. Now we're gonna come forward here into forward fold. Bring your feet forward, your hands. Right? Belly touches the upper thighs, head hanging heavy and long. You can bend your knees as much as you need to get into that forward fold. Shake your head yes, shake your head no. Make sure there's no creases in the back of your neck. Now as we inhale here, we're gonna take a half lift into monkey. Just pull your shoulders even with your hips. Right, we're gonna do lots of these as we go through the sun salutation, right? As you exhale, let yourself come back down, belly to thighs. This time as we inhale, we take a big reverse swan dive. We're gonna come all the way up to standing, right? Now from here, you're just gonna bend into your elbows. Grab your opposite elbows with your opposite hand, right? So that your forearms are right above the crown of your head. As you exhale here, just side bend to the right, lean to the right. Inhale, come back to center. Exhale, lean to the left. Inhale, come back to center. And then as you exhale, push your hips forward, take your chest and your gaze up. Inhale, come up tall. Now you're gonna bring your palms together overhead, right? As you exhale, pull those thumbs through heart center, draw yourself all the way back down into your forward fold, all right? And once we get to forward fold, this is what we're gonna do. You're gonna take your left foot, pick it up, all right? You're gonna bend into your left knee. Slide that left knee over outside your left leg, all right? We're gonna sit all the way down. So what I want you to do is put that left foot on the ground, but you want the top of your foot to land on the ground. Not your toes, not the sole of your foot, the top of your foot. Keep bending into your right knee until your left knee hits the ground outside your right foot, right? And then from there, you're gonna shift back, let your left hip come to the ground. So we end up in this seated twist, right? Now, once you get here, you're gonna take your right hand, bring it back behind you. Take your left hand, hug it around your right knee, look over your right shoulder. Right? Now, we gotta get back up, right? I told you, lots of up and down today. So come back around. Your hands can be on either side of your right foot. Your hands can be both inside your right foot. You wanna push into that right foot, push into your left knee, push into your palms, right? Your goal here is to get your hips up off the mat. Once you get your hips up off the mat, you've got a lot more freedom of movement, and that's what we're going for here. You can just pick that left foot up, drop it back down next to your right if you're back in forward fold. All right, take a half lift to monkey here, shoulders even with the hips. And then we fold back down. Now we go the other way. So you pick up your right foot, right? So you're just picking it up off the ground. Bend into the knee. Swing that right knee over outside the left knee. See how I just did there? Right, and then point your toes towards the back of the room so that as you bend into that left knee, the top of your right foot hits the ground. You keep bending into your left knee. Your right knee hits the ground, and then you let your right hip hit the ground. Right, so it's okay if you fall a little bit, right? It's about getting up and down safely, right? About training your body in new patterns of movement. All right, so your left hand goes back behind you. Right hand hugs around the left knee. Look over your left shoulder. There we go. Now bring your hands back around, either on either side of your left foot or both inside the left foot. Push into your left foot, push into your right knee, push into your palms, lift your hips up off the mat. Then you can just swing that right leg next to the left. All right, now we take another half lift. We fold, you plant your hands, step or foot, back to plank. You can take your chaturanga here if you want to, or you can just shift back to down dog. Right, I'm gonna leave it up to you. If you wanna bend your elbows, hug them to your ribs, inhale to that baby cobra or up dog, and exhale to down dog, you can. If all you want to do is just shift right back to down dog and skip the chaturangas today, it's okay, right? They're not a major component of what we're doing today. But if you're used to doing them, then you should. All right, let's go through that a couple more times. Bend your knees, look between your thumbs, bring your feet forward, your hands, come to forward fold. Inhale, half lift to monkey. Exhale, fold back down. Inhale, reverse swan dive, come all the way up, and then grab opposite elbows. Lean to the right, come back to center, lean to the left, come back to center, take a back bend, push your hips forward, chest and gaze up, Inhale, come up tall, arms overhead, press your palms together, pull them down through heart center, bring it back to forward fold. Take a half lift, fold back down. Lift that left foot, right? Bend into it, swing it around behind the right, land the top of the left foot on the mat, keep bending into the right knee until your left knee lands on the mat, let your left hip land on the mat, and then you take your twist, right hand behind you, left hand hugging the right knee. Bring your hands back around to the front, push into your hands, push into that right foot, push into that left knee, lift your hips, and then just step your left foot back next to your right, so you're back and forward fold, take a half lift to reset, fold back down, do the other side, pick up that right foot, bend into it, swing it outside your left leg. You bend down to the top of your right foot hits, right knee hits, right hip hits. Right? Take your left hand back behind you, hug your right hand around your left knee. Untwist, hands come to the front, press into your palms, press into your left foot, lift your hips up off the mat, and then just step your right foot next to your left. Right? Hopefully that's getting a little bit easier. It's all right, we got one more time to do it. Take a half lift. Fold back down, plant your hands, now step or float back to plank. You can go through your whole flow, or you can just shift to down dog, your choice. Once you're in down dog, whether you float or just shift it back there, bend your knees, look between your thumbs, bring your feet forward, your hands. Take a half lift to monkey here. Fold back down, swan dive up. Grab opposite elbows. Lean to the right, come back to center, lean to the left. Come back to center, back bend, come up tall and reach your hands overhead, press your palms together, pull them down through heart center as you come to forward fold. Take a half lift, fold, lift up your left foot, swing the left knee behind the right. Remember, it's the top of the left foot, left knee, left hip. Twist to the right, right hand behind you, left hand hugs. Come back around, press your palms, your right foot, your left knee into the mat, come up, and step that left foot next to the right. Take a half lift, fold back down, one more time on the other side, right? So we lift that right foot up, bend it to the knee, top of the right foot hits the mat, right knee hits the mat, right hip hits the mat. Right, and then we twist to the left hand back behind you, right hand hugging around the left knee. Come back around, one more time, you plant those hands, use them, use your left foot, lift your hips up off the mat, and then just step the right foot next to the left. Take your half lift, fold back down, plant your hands, step or float back to plank. Take your whole flow, or just shift to down dog, whatever your body's calling for. Once you're in down dog, bend your knees, look between your thumbs, bring your feet forward, your hands, come to forward fold. All right, take a half lift here, into monkey, and then fold back down. Now, as we fold back down here, you're gonna keep your right foot forward. Step your left foot way back behind you. So you're coming to runner's lunge. And then let your left knee drop. So you're in a kneeling runner's lunge. All right, once we get to that kneeling runner's lunge, I'll do here in a second. I'm gonna find my notes so that I don't skip something like I did this morning. All right. There we go. Okay, so you're here. Now, you've got that left knee dropped to the ground, right? You're gonna bring both hands inside your right foot. Right, and then take that right knee, squeeze it to your right shoulder. So we're in dragon here, basically. I'm switching sides. Now, from your dragon, right, you're gonna keep that left hand down on the ground. Take your right hand, bring it to your right hip, and then just turn your chest open to the right. Let your right knee fall open a little bit. Maybe you come up onto the knife edge of your right foot, the right sole of your foot lifting off the ground. Drop your hips towards the ground. And then you're gonna put that right foot back down, come back around, drop your hands back inside your right foot. Now, from here, I'm gonna move over a little bit so you can see, you're gonna take your right foot and just step it out to the right. All right, so it looks like this. You have those right toes on the ground, right toes towards the front of the room, right heel even with the left knee. All right, so some of you were here Wednesday. This is part of the little sequence we did Wednesday night, right? You're gonna take your left fingertips, slide them underneath your right armpit. Let your right shoulder come to the ground. Let the right side, left shoulder come to the ground, left side of the head come to the ground. So you're gonna thread the needle, reaching your left fingertips toward your right toes. Maybe that left hand reaches forward. Right hand reaches forward, sorry, I'm messing it up. Maybe that right hand wraps behind your back. And then from there, you're gonna take that left hand, put it back, take your right hand, put it back on the mat, right? You're gonna unthread here. As you unthread, you slide that right hand out from underneath you, right? So now we're here, right? We're still in this position, we're in the tabletop with the right foot stepped out long. Now we're gonna go to that half child's pose. You don't have to go where you push that left hip all the way down to the left heel, right? Your hands are gonna walk a little bit in front of you. And then you push back, let your head come between your shoulder blades. Maybe you have the flexibility, right? I can do it if I brace my left knee with my hand, where you can drop your left hip down to your left heel, right? But if you don't, it's okay, right? You just go a little bit down, lean forward. Take that heart center towards the floor. Now, whether you came all the way down or not, right? We're gonna come back up. You bring your hands, if you came all the way down, by your left knee, so you can push into your hands and take the pressure off your left knee as you lift back up. Right, so now we're coming back into our tabletop. Now from here, you're gonna take that left foot, step it forward again, right? So it's back in dragon. Right foot, sorry, did I say left? All right, I messed that up. Now, you're gonna take your right toes across the mat over to your left wrist, all right? So again, we're gonna let ourselves come up and down off the mat here, right? You're gonna let yourself fall over to the right, right? We wanna come all the way down. So you're leaning, leaning, leaning to the right. Don't try to resist, right? Just let your right knee come down, then let your right hip come down. Bend into your left knee even more. Bring that left knee right against the sole of the right foot. So we're in deer position. You guys all recognize that, right? Bring your hands in front of your right shin. Doesn't matter if you're angled more over towards the left wall or if you're right towards the top of your mat. Hands in between the ankle, right knee. Bring your hands in front of you and just walk forward here. All right, now from here, right, we're gonna bring it back up. So you come up to your palms, you're gonna roll forward, and you're gonna bring yourself back into tabletop. Right, from tabletop, step back into plank. Right, and again, once you're in plank, you can shift right back to down dog, or you can take your full flow, chaturanga, up dog, down dog. Then from there, bend your knees, look between your thumbs, bring your feet forward, your hands come to forward fold. All right, so we're gonna do all that again on the other side. So you're gonna keep your left foot forward. Take that big step back with your right foot. So come to runner's lunge. Drop that right knee down to the mat. All right, bring both hands to the inside of the left foot. So you're in dragon. Squeeze that left knee in towards your left shoulder so you feel the full effect of your dragon. Now from there, you're gonna keep your right hand planted where it is. Take your left hand, bring it to your left hip. Push that left shoulder back, look over your left shoulder, let your left knee start to come open. Again, maybe you come off the knife, onto the knife edge of your left foot, letting the sole of the foot come off the mat. Drop your hips a little bit, and then press that left foot back to the floor. Bring your left hand back to dragon. All right, and now from here, you're gonna walk your hands back a little bit. You're gonna take that left foot and just step it out to the side. All right, so you got those left toes on the ground. And end up all the way in the camera, there we go. Your left heel is even with your right knee. You're gonna keep your left hand where it is. Turn your right fingertips towards your left foot. Slide that right arm underneath your left armpit. Let your right shoulder come down. Let the right side of your head come down. So you're gonna thread the needle. Left hand can reach forward, or left hand can wrap around behind your back. All right, now from here, you're gonna bring that left hand around. Right, bring it back by your face. Push into it so you can unthread that right arm. So now you've just got both hands in front of you. Walk them even more forward in front of you. And again, from here we decide, you can push it all the way back, your right hip all the way back to your right heel, or you can just lean back a little bit like I'm doing here, right? My hands between my shoulder blades, my heart centers shining towards the floor, but I don't have my hip all the way back on my heel. And then from there, you're gonna bring it back up. If you did come all the way down to your right heel, right, bring your hands back by your right knee. Use your hands to push you up so you protect that right knee, and then you're walking it back forward. All right, we're gonna step that left foot back in here to our dragon. So you step that left foot back outside your left foot. Then you're gonna bring your left hand outside your left foot. Start to walk your left toes over, trying to get your left toes behind your right wrist. Right, then as you do that, then you can let that left knee start to come open. Right, use your palms, let yourself fall all the way to the left. Left knee comes down, left hip comes down. You draw that right knee in against the sole of the left foot. right? And then you bring your hands in front of that left shin and walk it forward. All right, let's bring it back up to our palms here. And then you're gonna come around into your tabletop, right? So you can lean to the left, right? So that you can push yourself forward, bring it back into your tabletop. Once you're in tabletop, you're gonna step back to plank. And again, you can go through your flow or you can just shift back to down dog, up to you. Once you're back in down dog, walk your feet forward to your hands, come to forward fold. All right, so we're gonna do all that again on the right side. We're gonna go through the parts we've already been through a little faster, right? Then we've got some stuff to add on. So you're keeping your right foot forward. Step your left foot way back behind you. Drop down to your left knee. Move over a little bit this way so that you guys still see me when we move sideways. All right, once you're there, bring your hands to the inside of your right foot. Squeeze your right knee into your right shoulder for your dragon. Keep the left hand planted. Take the right hand, bring it to your right hip. Look over your right shoulder, let that right knee fall open. We'll twist here. Hips are dropping. Come back through your dragon, right? And then from dragon, you're just gonna step that right foot straight out to the right. Bring your hands to tabletop position so your shoulders right over your wrists. Turn your left fingertips towards the right side of the room. Slide that left arm underneath the right. So you come down to your left shoulder, left side of your head. Reach your right hand forward, wrap it behind your back. Thread the needle. From thread the needle, we pull that right hand back by our face and thread the left arm. Come up and then let yourself sink down over your left heel. Maybe all the way, maybe a little bit, right? Walk your hands forward as you push back. That allows you to get a bigger stretch without going all the way down if you don't want to go all the way down. Then come back up. As you come back up, if you have your hip all the way down on your knee, right, bring your hands by your left knee. Let you push back up without doing any damage there, right? Now step that right foot next to your right hand. So you're back in dragon. And you move that right hand to the outside of the right foot so you can start to walk those right toes over towards your left wrist. Right, as you get all the way over there, now you're gonna let yourself come all the way down, right? Lean to the right, let your right knee come down, let your right hip come down, and then bring that left knee against the sole of the right foot. Hands come in front of the right shin, and we just walk it out here into our deer. All right, now we're gonna come back up. Right? Like we did before, you're gonna bring it around into tabletop. All right, so come to your tabletop. As you come into your tabletop, right, now what you're gonna do, you're gonna take your left foot, kick it over to the left. Right, so your left knee is still on the ground, left shoulder still over the left wrist and left knee aligned with each other. Take your right leg extended along here towards the back of the room. So you've got that right heel on the ground, right toes pointed towards the right wall. Then just take your right hand, scoop it up to the sky. Come to your modified side plank. Maybe you reach those right fingertips forward and lift your right foot up. Maybe not. Right, now you're gonna drop your right foot, drop your right hand, right? Kick those left knees back. Now from here, right, you're basically gonna you're gonna curl your right knee into your chest. And then what you wanna do here, keep curling it, keep curling it, keep curling it. You wanna get those right toes past your left knee. Right, so then you can take that right foot, you're gonna kick it all the way underneath your left armpit. All right, and then once you're there, you're gonna let yourself fall to the right. So fall to the right, let your right hip come down. As you come all the way down on the right hip, kick both legs straight. All right, so we ended up in this weird kind of sideways facing position. That's what you want, right? So you're kind of facing over towards the left side with your legs pretty wide, right? Take your right hand, that should be your front leg, right? Bring your right hand back behind your right hip. Take your left hand up to the sky. And then you're gonna reach your left fingertips toward your right toes. Take a little fold. All right, now from here, come back up. All right, bring your legs together. You're gonna end up facing the left wall. Okay. So there we are, now we're sideways, right? So you're gonna take your hands, bring them back behind you. All right, bend at your knees, put your feet on the ground. Lift your hips up off the mat. So you're coming into a reversed heel. Trying to push those hips even with your knees. If you don't get that high, it's okay. Right? And then float your hips back down. Put them on the mat. Take your legs, extend them long. So your legs are still facing the left wall there. Take your hands up to the sky and just take a forward fold over your legs. So you're bringing your legs all the way together, just your basic seated forward fold here. All right, now from here, you're gonna peel back up, right? Sweep your legs around, take your hands to your sides, right? Sweep your legs around so they're back facing the front of the room, right? And then take your arms long, tuck your chin to your chest, come all the way down to your back. Take your knees, hug them into your chest. All right, we're not done yet. You're gonna take your hands to the crease of your knees. Do those rock and rolls, right? Where you roll up, let your heels hover the mat as you come up, roll back, keep your head and shoulders off the mat as you go back down. Right, do that a couple times, build a little momentum. Now we're gonna try to come up, right? We're gonna end up in chair. Now I don't expect you to lead into chair, right? But it's a movement pattern. So I'm gonna get enough momentum. So I'm gonna come forward, I'm gonna really plant my feet into the mat. I'm gonna use my right hand, right? Push into it to get myself up to standing, right? And then once you're up to standing, you're gonna sweep your hands up to the sky, bend your knees, send your hips back and down. You can reach your hands forward once you get there, which I'm gonna do today with my arm, or you can bring your hands to heart center. Right, so you're here in chair, bend your knees, look down, make sure you can see your toes and wiggle your toes. Now from here, keep that right foot forward. Take a big step back with your left foot, let your left toes go towards the left, and then just cartwheel your arms open into warrior two. From your warrior two, turn your right palm up to the sky, scoop up with your right hand, let your left hand come back along your left thigh. And then cartwheel your hands all the way around, land them on either side of your right foot, turn your left toes forward, step your right foot back to meet your left. So you're in plank, and again, you can just shift back to down dog, or you can go through your whole flow, your choice here. Bend your knees, look between your thumbs, bring your feet forward, your hands come to forward fold. Take a half lift. All right, so we gotta do that whole thing one more time on the left side, okay? So you're gonna keep your left foot forward. Take that big step back with your right foot. Drop down to your right knee. Angle myself a little bit over here. Now, I wanna go a little bit this way. You're gonna bring both hands to the inside of your left foot. Squeeze that left knee in towards your left shoulder. So you're in that dragon. Take your left hand, bring it to your left hip. Right? Push that left elbow back, let that left knee open in your twist. Put that left foot back on the ground, drop your left hand back inside your left foot, back to dragon. Now from here, you're gonna step your left foot out to the side. Right? And then from there, turn your right fingertips towards the left side of the room, slide that right arm underneath the left, come down to your right shoulder, come down to the right side of your head. Left hand reaches forward or wraps around the back. And then from there, bring that left hand back by your face, use it, push yourself up, and thread the right hand, put it back down. Comes that half child's pose, right? You're pushing your hips back, walking your hands forward. Maybe you come all the way down, maybe not. Come back up. If you came all the way down to your heel, right? Bring your hands by your knee to protect your knee. Come back up, and then you're gonna step that left foot back in next to the right. Right, come back through your dragon. Move your left hand to the outside of your right foot, or the outside of your left foot. Walk those left toes over until your left foot is back behind your right wrist. And then you're gonna let yourself fall, right? See, this is what I look like now. I didn't bring my knee all the way to the ground. I have to let it come all the way to the ground, right? I'm using my hands so I can drop that knee, then drop the hip, then pull the right knee in. Right, so I want you to get used to doing these movements, right? Knowing that it's not all perfect and flowing, right? Your body's gonna do little thunks every once in a while. The point is to control it, to know which parts of your body are taking the body weight. All right, let's fold over the left leg here. I should let you guys fold first, then said all that, right? Get to the fun part. Take that stretch. And then we're gonna come back up here. As we come back up, now you're gonna unwind, right, into your tabletop. So we come to the tabletop. This time as we get to tabletop, kick your right foot out to the right, keep your right knee on the ground, keep your right shoulder right over your right wrist, right? Take your left leg, extend it long, toes towards the left wall, take your left hand up to the sky. So this modified side plank, facing the ball wall. If you want to lift your left foot, reach your left fingertips, you can, you don't have to. All right, and then you're gonna drop your left foot down, drop your left hand down back in that tabletop position. Kick your right foot towards the back of the room. Turn your left toes towards the front of the room. Curl that left knee into your chest. Right? And then we're trying to curl it in so you can get those left toes in front of your right knee, and then take that left foot outside underneath your right armpit. Right? Once you're there, then you let yourself lean, right? You don't have to kick that leg straight first unless you want to. You let yourself start to lean to the left. Let that left hip fall to the ground, right? Straighten out both legs. You end up kind of in this little, you can't see me here. We ended up in this little V pose facing the right side of the room. Now your left hand's gonna come back behind your left hip. Your right hand's gonna go up to the sky. And then you're just gonna come across, bring your right fingertips towards your left foot. Come back up here, and then you're gonna bring that right leg around next to your left so your legs are straight in front of you. Take your hands back behind you, right? Palms facing the glutes, bend into your knees, so your feet are on the ground, and then press into your palms, press into your feet, lift your hips up to the sky, into your reverse table. There we go. Now we drop the hips back down, right? Take your legs out long, sweep your hands up to the sky, and then take your fold here, fold over your legs. Peel it back up. As you come back up, right, your hands are at your sides, you're gonna swing those legs back around to the front, right? And then reach your hands forward, tuck your chin to your chest, roll all the way down to the mat. Take your knees, hug them into your chest, and then do your rock and rolls here. Right, just to get a little momentum going. When you're feeling ready, plant those feet into the mat, right? Push into the feet. Use your hands if you need to. You probably do, to come up to standing. All right, so now we're all the way up to standing. Sweep your hands up to the sky. Bend your knees, drop your hips, come to chair. Right. Maybe you're getting a little deeper in your chair this time. It's our second time through. Now, from your chair, right, you're just gonna keep your left foot where it is. Keep that bend in the left knee. You're just gonna take a big step back with your right foot. Let your right toes land towards the right wall, and then cartwheel your arms open right here into warrior two. Keep bending the left knee going towards the pinky toe side of the foot. Get everything nice and set up here. Then turn your left palm up to the sky, scoop up, reach your left fingertips over your head. Maybe that right hand's around your back. Maybe it's wrapping behind your back. Keep bending into the left knee. Keep reaching back to those left fingertips. Cartwheel your hands around here. Land them on either side of your left foot. Turn your right toes forward. Step your left foot back to meet your right. You're here in plank. You can stay here and just shift back to down dog, or you can go all the way through your flow one last time. Up to you. All right, from there, bend your knees, look between your thumbs, bring your feet forward, your hands, come to forward fold. Toe your feet out wide here to the edges of your mat. Turn your heels in and your toes out. Bend your knees, drop your hips. Come to your Malasana squat. If you have a block, you can sit down on your block. If you don't have a block, and this isn't comfortable to you, or this isn't comfortable to you with or without a block, then you're gonna come all the way down to bound ankle, right? So you decide, be somewhere where you're comfortable, let your eyes drift closed. Take a couple breaths here. Just to reconnect with your breath. Notice if you still have that full focus on your breath. Notice if you still have full control of the breath. If you lost either of those things while we were flowing, this is your chance to get it back here, right? Slow your breaths again. Lengthen your breaths again. Deepen your breaths again. Now when you're ready here, right, we're all gonna come down to our glutes, and then we're gonna come around into a down dog. Okay, we're gonna do our core work from here, right? So you're here in down dog. Once you're in your down dog, what you're gonna do, right, you're gonna bend into your knees and push your hips back toward your heels. So you're in this crouch. Now we call this turbo dog. Right, now, you can go, as we do this part, right, if you want to, all you're gonna do, you're gonna press through your toes, you're gonna come from turbo dog into plank. Back to turbo dog. Going back and forth, right? Maybe, if it feels okay when you're in turbo dog, right, think about just taking your feet up off the mat, doing a light little hop. I don't know what it's gonna feel like on these bouncy floors, but maybe, right, if you're not a jumper, then that's fine. You're just shifting, plank, turbo dog, plank, turbo dog. Right, wherever you are, 3 more times, right? 3 more jumps or 3 more shifts to plank. And then from there, everybody's gonna be back in their turbo dog. Look between your thumbs, right? Now think about, especially if you've been jumping, how easy would it be just to lift up off your feet and jump forward to your hands? Right? You can try it, or you can just step forward to your hands and come back to forward fold. All right, now as we get to forward fold here, right, you're gonna shift forward, lift your heels up off the mat, and start to bend your knees and drop your hips. As you're coming down to this little crouch, then from your crouch, bring your hands back behind you, land it all the way down onto your glutes. All right, so we're here in this hook line position. All right, now from your hook line, you're gonna take your arms out long, right? We're gonna lay all the way down on our back. Turn sideways. And then as you come up off your back, right? This might be as good as it gets, we'll see, okay? We're gonna come up off the back. You're gonna lift your hands up. Now, kick your right foot up to the sky. Reach your hands up towards your right foot, right? And then put that right foot back down. Let your hands go all the way back. Lift your head and shoulders up off the mat. Kick your other foot up to the sky. Reach up towards it. Come back down, right? Just do that about 5 times. You're alternating your legs. You're peeling your head and shoulders up each time, right? That's where the work is. Reaching up and then coming back down. Not a lot going on with your legs. Just reaching up towards them. Do it 3 more times each side. 3. 3. 2. 2. Last one. 1. And 1. All right, now we're laying all the way down. You're gonna let yourself roll to one side or the other. And then push yourself up, seated here. As we push ourselves up to seated, swing your legs around in front of you again, right? And we're gonna come back to that wide-legged stance. So take your legs out wide as you can, sit up tall. Take your hands to the inside, right in the center of your legs, and then just walk it forward. So we're just doing a basic wide-legged forward fold here. Walking yourself as far forward as you can. Keep your toes up to the sky, keep your knees up to the sky, keep your back nice and flat. You want to feel this as a stretch in your inner thighs, right? You might start feeling that as soon as you walk your hands an inch or 2 in front of you, right? You might need to walk all the way until you're practically flat on the mat. Depends on your body, right? As long as you're feeling it, as long as you're feeling the stretch, you're doing the right thing here. Let's take 4 more breaths. And then from there, we're gonna walk it back. And as you walk back, now you're gonna take your right hand and just put it on your right thigh. Start to slide that right leg, or that right hand down your right leg as much as you can, right? Maybe you're just on your shin. Maybe you can get it to your toes, which you can't even see my toes on camera here, so just this part. Maybe you're getting to your toes, maybe you're just here on your ankle or your shin. Wherever you are, it's okay, right? Now your left hand is gonna reach up to the sky. Maybe you take that left hand, reach it up and over your head. So your left fingertips are also reaching towards your right toes. You're spiraling your chest open towards the left side of the room. You're looking under your left armpit if you're doing this with your left arm right now. Now, if this feels like too much in your left arm, take your left arm and just wrap it around behind your back. Reach towards your right inner thighs. You're still peeling that left shoulder open and you're taking your gaze over your left shoulder. So your chest is still spiraling to the left either way, right? So your choice here. A couple more breaths. And then let yourself peel all the way up. Now we're gonna go the other way. So you're taking your left hand to your left thigh. Get a little more here so that you can see the left toes on the camera. And then you're leaning down, sliding that left hand as close to your left toes as you can get. Maybe you're at your foot, maybe you actually grab your toes, maybe you're on your knee or your shin, right? Now that right hand reaches up and maybe over. You're looking up. If you're here underneath your right armpit, your chest is spiraling open to the right. If you need to, take that right hand, wrap it around behind your back, peel that right shoulder open, look up over it. All right, now slowly bring yourself back up. All right, now from here, we're gonna bring our legs together again, bend back into your knees, right? Take your arms long, tuck your chin to your chest, round yourself all the way down onto your back here. Now as we come down to the back here, right, before we go into our inversions, we're gonna do one more stretch. We're gonna do our reclining bound ankle. So you're gonna bring the soles of your feet together and let your knees fall open. You can keep your hands on your inner thighs or on your knees, pressing them open a little bit more, opening up those legs a little bit more. You can let your hands rest at your sides. You can take them to a T. You can rest them on your belly. If you want to stretch out your upper body, reach them up overhead. All these different options. Just find what feels the best to you. You want more sensation in your legs, draw your heels a little closer to your body. You want less, push them further away. More breaths here. And then from there, you're going to bring your knees together. Put your feet flat on the mat. Take your hands to your sides, palms face down. We're going to come into our bridge here, so press into all four corners of both feet. And as you inhale, just lift your hips up off the mat. If you have a block and you want to slide your block under there for supported bridge, you can do that. Maybe you tuck your shoulders slightly, or you should tuck your shoulders at least slightly, whether you're supported or unsupported, letting your chest puff open. Right? If you want to make this really deep, you work one entire shoulder, then the other underneath your body pushes your hips even higher. Right? So you decide where you want to be. Trying to increase the flexibility of our back. So either you're using the leverage that block to push your hips higher to increase the flexibility of your back, or you're using the strength in your legs. Right? Engaging your quads, engaging your glutes, engaging those hamstrings, making those strong legs work for you to increase the flexibility of your back. Take 2 more breaths here. And then as you exhale, let your hips float back down to the mat. All right, now from here, we're going to come into waterfall. So you're going to take your feet straight up to the sky. Flex your feet like you're stepping on the ceiling. So you've got the blood going from your feet where it pools all day, back to the head and the heart where we need it more. If you have a block under your hips for a supported waterfall, just makes it slightly more intense because we've elevated the hips slightly. Maybe you want to take a shoulder stand. That's where you lift your hips up on your own. Put your hands to the small of your back. So you're supporting yourself on your shoulders and your forearms. Right, so you can be in shoulder stand. You can be in waterfall. You can be in supported waterfall. Listen to your body. Let it tell you where it needs to go. Just use that increased circulation. We're also naturally lowering our blood pressure. We're flooding the body with all those anti-stress, anti-aging hormones. We're resetting our circadian rhythm, our sleep cycle. So lots of good things happen when we get a little bit upside down. All right, now when you're ready here, we're all going to come out of this the same way. Bend your knees, let them scrape right along your face and body. Slowly drop your feet back down to the mat. As our feet drop back down to the mat, right now you're gonna shift your hips forward a little bit so that you feel the sacrum, the low part of the back, press into the mat. If you have a block under there, take the block out. I should have said that, right? But your hips are on the ground, you're rolling forward so you feel the sacrum pressing into the ground. Then take your feet up to the sky again. This time you want to do it so that sacrum stays pressing to the mat, right? So maybe your hips don't come over, or your heels don't come over your hips because it pulls the sacrum off the mat. Maybe your legs have to be angled more forward. That's okay. Separate your feet, maybe slightly, maybe a lot. Bend your knees, maybe slightly, maybe a lot. All that's up to you. Reach up for your same foot with your same hand. If you don't grab your foot, grab your ankle or your shin or your knee. Wherever you make that connection, it's good. And from there, we're just gonna rock from side to side. Give yourselves a little spinal massage. It should feel good. If it doesn't, you can skip the rock. If you need to change your leg position now that you're in the pose, because something else would feel better, do that. Legs can be wider, or straighter, or bent more, or butted more. Find the place where your happy baby is truly, truly happy. And when you're ready here, take your knees, hug them back into your chest. Right, and we're going to finish like we started with those supine twists. So you let your arms go long, like wings, in a T position. We're going to let the knees fall over to the right as the chin and the gaze go over the left shoulder. Maybe you take your right hand, press those knees down closer to the earth. Maybe you extend your legs towards your right fingertips. Maybe you stay where you are. Keep that left shoulder anchored. That's what's giving you the twist. And your next inhale here, you're going to pull your knees back to center. And as we exhale, let the knees fall over to the left. Take the chin, the gaze to the right. Maybe you take that left hand and press those knees closer down. Maybe you extend your toes towards your left fingertips. Maybe you're just staying where you are. Keep that right shoulder anchored. We always finish off with this twist because it seals off our practice. Lets our bodies remember everything that happened today. So next time we come practice yoga, it's all a little easier. We're able to go everywhere a little bit deeper. All right, on your next inhale here, bring your knees back to center. Give them one final hug into your chest. And then we're going to start to set up for our final pose, our Shavasana. Right, so you can let your legs extend all the way long. Take your arms to your sides. Right, that's your traditional Shavasana, flat on your back. If you don't want to stay there, you don't have to. Right, you can bend your knees, you can butterfly your legs, you can roll to your belly, you can roll to your side, you can sit up. Right, just find somewhere to be where you're perfectly comfortable, where you're going to be able to stay perfectly still. Most importantly, where your mind is going to be able to go perfectly quiet. If you're here in the studio, come around with a little sea salt, put it on your towel. And you put your towel over your eyes. If you're at home and you have a towel, put that towel over your eyes. If you don't have a towel, you just close your eyes. Let yourself to find that quiet of the mind. You don't have to control your breath anymore as you seek that quiet of mind. Release your breath. Let it do what it wants to do. But as you're releasing control of that breath, keep your full focus on your breath. Keep noticing it. Keep observing it. Let it take over. Eventually we'll get to a place there's nothing left in our mind for us and our breath, right? That's always your true quiet of slowly start to come back into the room. Wiggle your fingers, your toes. Feeling that increased sensation that comes with a quiet mind. If you want to here, you can take your arms overhead and do a nice full, deep body stretch. And then from there, just roll over onto your right side in a fetal position. Take a couple breaths right there just to reacclimate to our space. Let the sights and the sounds of the room come back to you. Take as long as you need right here. Then when you're ready, only when you're ready, push yourself up to seated, and we'll close here. All right, so let's just close with our 2 Brahmari breaths and then an Om. The Brahmari breath, we inhale as we exhale, make that little humming sound in the back of the throat, and then the Om is the universal syllable. It uses all parts of the throat. You can join me in these breaths, or you can just listen. But let's close our eyes here. We'll inhale together. Inhaling again. And then we'll inhale one final time, and Om. Let your eyes drift open. Bring your hands to heart center. Thank you, all of you, for sharing your energy, your practice with me this morning. The light in me honors the light in each of you. Namaste. And yay, we finally have 2 yoga classes in a weekend again. So I'm here tomorrow at 10 a.m. for Gentle, so come join me for that if you get a chance. I hope you all have a great rest of your weekend.